My next speaker, she's here waiting for me. Vanessa, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. Do you agree, Vanessa, that we have such a moral duty to protect our young children in this current world?
Yes, absolutely a moral duty to protect them because they're dealing with so many new things. Parents are dealing with so many new things that, like when I was a kid or you were a kid, parents didn't have to deal with that, especially with technology and social media and all the exposure they get there. There's still a lot of similarities with what parents deal with, but it's some new ground that parents are having to navigate through.
Yeah, that's why I don't want them to feel like they're alone and they're
Yeah.
being blamed, because you shouldn't know any of this either. That's why I brought in all those pictures, because we just think it just happens. It doesn't happen often. It's not going to happen to my kid. This is how we think about it, but it can happen to anybody anytime, and it could be happening right now because you're not co-regulating with your son or daughter. Awesome. Vanessa's here. She's going to talk about express to release, the regulating power of creation. That sounds interesting. I'm excited to hear that. Vanessa stands for making creativity a core of something. She's going to tell us. She believes creativity isn't just an art. Interesting. She is committed to showing families how simple creative practices. You have some simple creative practices for us? Thank you. She is here to remind us that expression isn't something something. Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for having me here today. Thank you to everybody who is here live and who will be watching on the recording. Hi, Kat. Hi, everyone. A special little hello to my mama and my sister-in-law who are joining us today as well. Thank you for supporting me. And my father-in-law might be here too. So lots of family in the audience. So thank you, everyone. And Kohila kind of led us through some deep stuff right now. And it's very important that we are aware of these things. But I'd like to lighten it up for us a little bit today and talk about some creativity and movement and ways to release the things that we hold on to. So I want to open today with this. You don't have to explain it to release it. You don't even have to understand it. You just have to let it move. Now, I want you to take a little bit of time with me and don't think about it, but I just want you to move your hands like they feel. You could scribble in the air. You can walk like an Egyptian. You can just let them be stiff, let them be loose, let them be frantic, but just let your body speak. So everybody just give your hands a shake, move your body with me, and just let your body speak. Shake your hands, let them be stiff. You can get some robot action going if you want to, but just let it move. Let your body speak, and let's shake our hands and move some energy through our body. Now, we've been doing a lot of breathing today, and so we're just going to do a little bit more. I'd like for everybody to close their eyes with me. And I just want you to focus on your breath. So we're not going to change our breathing. We're just going to focus on the natural rhythm of our breath. Don't change it. Just notice your breath. Notice the rhythm. Notice your breath in the moment. Feel the air as it moves in through your nose and out through your mouth or through your nose. Feel your chest or your stomach rising and falling. Just take a minute and be aware of your breath. And if your mind starts to wander, like our minds usually do, we have a little bit of a monkey mind. If it starts to wander, just notice that and then bring your focus back to your breath. So let's just take a minute and breathe. No forcing, no pushing, just breathe. And now I'd like to invite you to join me on a journey through your body. And our journey begins at the very top of your head, at the crown of your head. And I just want you to notice the crown of your head, feel your scalp. I'm going to make our way down to our forehead, to our ears, our nose, our mouth and jaw and chin, down to our neck. You can give your head a little roll in one direction and in another direction. From our neck down to our chest. And if you feel so inclined, you could place a hand on your heart. Just feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. And from our chest, I want you to feel your arms and your shoulders, and down into our stomachs, our abdomen, our lower backs. Just notice what you feel as you're moving through your body. Your sit bones if you're sitting, your thighs, down to your knees, down to your shins and your calves, and down to our feet. And that's where our journey through our body is going to end. Just wiggle your toes. And even though our journey ends here, you can open your eyes now. This is where I like to begin everything, from the roots. So feel your feet on the ground. Feel the earth beneath your feet. And today, I'm not here to teach you how to create, but I'm here to remind you that you were born creative. So just like a tree knows how to lean towards the sun, your body already knows how to let go. It already knows how to grow, and it already knows how to release. But for a lot of our kids and for a lot of our parents, we've forgotten how to trust those signals. We try to talk our way out of stress. We try to think our way through big emotions. And sometimes what we really need to do is just move. We just need to move, to make, to express. And that's the heart of the work that I do with the teens and the young adults that I work with. And it's the root of what I want to offer here for you today. So I'd like to share a story with you. One of my students, we'll call her Maggie, she was carrying so much. She was in an IB school, a very highly academically rigorous environment. She was very academically gifted, multilingual. She spoke 5 different languages, very high achieving, but she was completely overwhelmed and disconnected from her own sense of calm and joy. She'd study for hours, but still feel like she wasn't doing enough. The pressure began to build in her silently until she'd break down and feel ashamed for it. So one day during one of our sessions, we did something different, and we took our session outside under the trees. I asked her to bring with her a journal, some colored pens, and I gave her this prompt. Draw or write what it feels like in your body when you're under pressure. So I asked her to draw or write what it feels like in her body when she's under pressure. So she was quiet at first, and then the colors started flowing. She drew a twisting vine that was wrapped around a heart, but at the bottom of the heart and the twisting vine, she added roots, deep, wide roots. And her hand stopped scribbling. I watched her shoulders drop. I didn't say anything, but in that moment, her body was speaking. Her body was speaking to me. It was speaking to her. And that's when I knew that her emotional and nervous system were signaling, and creativity gave them a voice. She couldn't say it at first, but her body spoke it through color, through shape, through metaphor. And that's the moment that I see again and again in the work that I do, when expression becomes release and release becomes regulation. So in my coaching, I use a lot of nature-based metaphors because I love nature, and because I see learning as growth and as something organic, something that lives, breathes, and roots itself deep in who we are. And to me, it's like this living ecosystem. And the metaphor that speaks most to me and most to what I witness in teens and families is called MindSoil, and it's one of the lenses from the Blocks to Flow framework. And so here's the idea. Expression is oxygen to the emotional roots. So expression is oxygen to the emotional roots. When a young person isn't given the space to express what's under the surface, whether it's fear, anger, curiosity, or joy, those emotional roots start to suffocate. And when the roots can't breathe, growth gets stuck. So you can't talk someone into growing. Just like a plant, a child needs the right conditions: moisture, breath, light, movement, expression. And in my Roots to Rise program, we tend to those emotional roots first, because strong roots make rising possible. So I'd like to show you what this looks like in action. And I once worked with a teen who had started withdrawing, and she'd mutter the ever so popular teenage phrase, "I'm fine, I'm fine," whenever someone asked what was wrong. And then she'd shut the door. During one of our online sessions, I asked her to choose a song that captured how she felt and then sketch whatever came up. She barely said anything the whole time. By the end, she held up a drawing of a girl underwater that was reaching towards the surface. And then she whispered, "This is what I've been trying to say." Before she could plant anything new like trust, calm, or hope, we had to clear out the emotional clutter. And that's what that drawing did for her. It let her nervous system breathe. And once she felt that breath, something shifted. That's MindSoil. What she couldn't explain, she expressed. What she couldn't say with words, she said with color and shape and movement. That moment was more than a drawing. It was oxygen. It was the beginning of her roots breathing again. I'd also like to share a personal story for myself. Not too long ago, I got a phone call that you never want to get. And it was a call that my brother was in the hospital. And so after that call, I did what I could to just pack some stuff and head 4 hours out to be with my family and to be with my brother. And the whole time I had this tension in my chest, just this not knowing what to expect when I got there, this hard, tense feeling in my heart. My heart was racing. And when I got there, my other brother had met me in the parking lot, and we hugged each other, and my sister was there. And even though I could explain what I was feeling, that tension in my chest wouldn't go away. I couldn't move that. I couldn't move that energy out of my body. And then my older brother always seems to have a skateboard in his car. And so what I did is I got on that skateboard and I just skated up and down the aisles of the parking lot at the hospital. And in that moment, I was able to move that tension that I was feeling in my chest and be more present. So I was able to be more present for my family and for my brother who was in the hospital. But it was that movement. And even though I was able to express it with my words, I had to move my body. And so movement is medicine. And it became medicine to me that day. So that oxygen, we need to get that oxygen to our roots. And I'd like to have us all try a little bit of that today. I've got 2 options for you to try, and we all like options. So I have 2 options for you. You don't need to think your way through this. So we can just let our brains just kind of let go a little bit here. So don't think your way through it. Just let something move through you. And I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. So the first question is, where am I feeling compacted? And on that day that I arrived at the hospital, the compaction, it was so hardcore in my chest. So that's the first question. Where am I feeling compacted? The second question is, what part of me hasn't had oxygen in a while? And what part of me hasn't had oxygen in a while? And the third question is, what color is my nervous system today? So question 1, where am I feeling compacted? Question number 2, what part of me hasn't had oxygen in a while? And question number 3, what color is my nervous system today? So here's your 2 options. You can either choose to take 30 seconds. So you're going to need some tools. Hopefully you have your journal that was provided to you for our summit, and you can use that. Or if you just have a paper and a pen or any markers or colors, I want you to take 30 seconds and draw a shape or a line or a squiggle, whatever matches your current mood. Don't try to make it beautiful, just let it out. So that's option number one. Option number two is to take some breaths, and on your exhale, I want you to hum. And I do this with my students. Hum at any pitch. Don't perform it, just let it go. I want you to let the line, if you're drawing on your paper, or the sounds be your oxygen. So I'm gonna hum because I like sounding like a little bee, but take some breaths if you're gonna choose option 2 or option B. And I'm going to breathe in. Then on the next exhale, I'm just going to hum it out. You can change the pitch too if you want to. Just let it go. Let it go. So if you're drawing, maybe you have some squiggles all over your paper. Maybe you have a little spiral. Maybe you're drawing straight lines and rigid edges. Ooh, Kohila is showing us her drawing. Yay. Oh, it's a people. So just let it out. Let it out. Let that line, let the color, let the sound be your
person crying.
I'm crying. Yeah, letting it out. It's society says crying's not so good, but I feel pretty darn good after crying sometimes. It's a very nice release. And so I want to give you something that you can take at home, literally. And so I call this the Nature Scribble Release. So if your child is feeling shut down, overwhelmed, or like they're holding something in, try this together. You can head outside, even if it's just to your front steps, your backyard, a balcony, a window. Ooh, Kat, her nervous system is purple and she drew a shooting star. I love it. Yes. Yeah, what color is everybody's nervous system? If you're drawing, drop it in the chat. What color is your nervous system? And what'd you draw if you drew something? Yeah, share. I'd love to know. All right. Something you can do at home with your family is if you're noticing that your child is just stuck or shut down, overwhelmed, or your teenagers, I'm fine, then I want you to try this. If you go outside, like I said, even if it's just to your front steps or your backyard or your balcony, or if you have a nearby tree and you can sit under the tree, and or if you're living in the city and you don't have some place to get out, just get to a window where you could look out the window. And bring some paper with you, some colored pencils, markers, whatever you got. Ooh, pink and humming, pink and orange like a sunrise. I love it, Stacy. So bring your tools with you, paper, colored pencil, pens, markers, and then ask. You can ask your child, and I encourage you to do it too, but ask, what does this moment feel like inside you? Don't think, just color it out. And as a parent, do it with your child. Let the color, let the scribble, let that swirl of energy become the oxygen for your roots and their roots. Let it be shared. Let it be messy. Let it be real. It's not about making something pretty. It's about making space. And that space, that's where regulation begins. That's MindSoil at work. So to the parent or educator out there who's been told that your child is too emotional, too sensitive, or too much, or to the child in you who's never had a safe place to feel it all, let me say this to you. Expression is not extra. It's essential. So expression is not extra. It's essential. We often think that regulation means sitting still, being quiet, or getting calm quickly. But sometimes the body needs to shake. Sometimes it needs to run. Sometimes it needs to scribble. Sometimes it needs to build. Sometimes it needs to cry into the wind. I've done that before. But movement isn't defiance, it's communication. And so what if your teen spiraling isn't the real issue, but the buildup of unexpressed energy? And what if your home, your rhythm, your routines could become a place where emotions aren't suppressed, but honored and released? Let your home be a greenhouse, a place where expression is the sun, where regulation is the root and creativity is the compost that helps it all grow. What I know is this: our kids don't just need to cope, they need to create. Expression is how the body breathes emotion. And creativity, especially in connection with nature, doesn't just calm the storm, it grows the roots and clears the path home. You don't need to be an artist to guide your child through big feelings. You just need to create the conditions where the body feels safe enough to release. So next time tension builds, try a walk, try painting, try music, try dancing, which is my favorite way of release. Try dirt under your feet or your fingernails. Trust the process, trust the roots, trust their expression, because breath, expression is so powerful. So I would like to invite you again back to our breath. And I'd like you to take a deep breath, a deep belly breath. So get your breath all the way down into your belly. And you can whisper this inside or out. I don't have to hold it all in. I can let it out. Breathe in. I don't have to hold it all in. I can let it out. So close your eyes with me. Place your hand on your heart and your belly, because when we express, we release. And when we release, we rise. Thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing. The cool part is that I know you were going to do creativity, but I wasn't sure. But I brought in a drawing. That's how my son got over that situation. So to start doing the activities you said today with your kids, when they do feel like that, they will go to that creativity space to draw it out, release it instead of compacting it and storing it, because anything that gets stored, it's not in motion. That's how we start telling ourselves stories. Amazing, powerful.
Thank you. Yeah, and sometimes words just can't express it or get it out. Like that day that I was in the hospital parking lot, I could say it and tell my brother and my sister and my family how I was feeling, but it would not move out of my chest. And so sometimes the words just don't move it enough. And if you have a creative release, it really helps to move the energy through your body and allow.
What a great way to have some family quiet time with your kids. And like the activity you just took us through, let's just draw what we're feeling right now. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. Any questions for Vanessa? Release and rise. Yep. Yes.
Yeah, release and rise.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Anything you have to share with our audience? Any gifts?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I have a little Root to Rise creative regulation toolkit. And so if you email me, and hopefully my email can get up there, it's Vanessa Smith.
Let's do some magic. It's going to come one.
Yeah, at bearingtreecoaching.com. So Vanessa Smith at bearingtreecoaching.com. And it's Vanessa with an E, Venessa Smith. That one should be an easy one, at bearingtreecoaching.com. But I'd love to share my creative regulation toolkit with you. There it is on the screen there. So just reach out. I'd love to chat with you and share some tools.
Yes, and Vanessa's information is in the journal. And I'm just going to have you here so we can announce our publication of our special edition for the summit. So we just launched this morning our magazine. We've been launching this since last October. In a world that's filled with so much information out there, this is a magazine that you have to sign up. This is right here is the link to sign up. We're going to also put it in the chat as well. You must sign up for these. These are wisdoms from our coaches. They share bi-monthly, every 2 months, All of the wisdoms comes in here, and we have always a lot of practical strategies, things they can do. We share about our methodology, what you can do, and we just there to support. So stop gathering information in the outside world, the Google world or the chat GTP world, but we bring it so that it relates to you, because we know what you go through as parents. So that's what it is. So we just launched for this summit a special one, because it happened to be on August. The next one is launching October, but sign up and you will always get reminders of when it's coming out. And we love to hear if you want us to add other articles. If you send us information about that, we would love to include, and our coaches will love to write an article as well. So thank you, Vanessa. And her information is in there because she wrote an article. So you can grab her gift. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add?
Just, I would say, in agreement with Dr. Miller, he said to get outside more, and nature really is a place for release. So I would encourage that too. Get outside in nature with your families and connect with the earth and the trees, and just breathe the ions in the air.
Sometimes we say our kids are bored, so busy, we're bored, all of these things, but just create some traditions. Let's say every Saturday we go for 10-minute walk. That's our tradition. Just create something that's simple or every Tuesday we do this, like just traditions. Like we had those. I think the kids are missing that. They're missing it. As I said, don't abandon them, saying that they even push you. My son pushed me so many times. Mom, no, I'm busy. I still went back and said, when will you be ready? In 10 minutes, 20 minutes? When can I come back? Because we're going to do something. We're going to do something is real. That's happening. But you just tell me, when can I come back? And then that way he knows that I want to spend that time, right? When he says I'm busy, if I leave, he just takes it at all. She doesn't care.
Didn't really mean it. And it doesn't take long. You just need 10 minutes. But doing something and tradition is amazing.
Awesome. Thank you. We have
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, Vanessa.
Hi, Mom.
Julia, is your mom?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hello, Mom.
She's here supporting all of you. She's everybody's mom today.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome.